Eu tô em outro planeta aqui, aí aqui o sinal é ruim.
It's because he's on a different planet, so it's bad signal.
No, I understand that. That's cool. That's cool. I like the background there, Alex. Good to see you again. I hope everything's well. I wanted to ask you. I saw the recent clip of you, and I believe you were with your coach Glover Teixeira, sitting outside, enjoying the outdoors. It looked like you were using a towel as a scarf. Is that what that was?
Era, a gente sabe.
Yeah, man, he was kind of having lunch with Glover, had some stuff on, and was cold. And Glover said, "Grab that towel over there and put on your neck so you can prank and take a picture." So he did and became viral.
Well, as I was going to ask, I'm like, you must have a scarf by now. You've been in Connecticut a few years. It's cold. I hope you have a good scarf.
Pô, hoje começou a nevar aqui. Pô.
Yeah, it started snowing already in Connecticut today.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's obviously it's very cold. How often do you get down to New York City? Because you're not that far away.
No centro ali é difícil.
Well, downtown or like to Manhattan, like Times Square, very few times, you know what I mean? But it's always in and out for some stuff in the city, but you know what I mean? Not too often.
Sure. But like obviously your career has been following a distinct pattern. You fight in New York, you take a couple fights elsewhere, you come back to Madison Square Garden again. And now we're here. You've got a third fight at Madison Square Garden in 3 years. Are you just getting lucky that you've had 3 straight years fighting in the city, or is this something that you want to keep happening?
No, pior que eu não.
No, he didn't look for it none of the time, just naturally happened.
Of course. That, your first fight here was your UFC debut. Second fight was for the middleweight title. You won both of those. Third fight now for the light heavyweight title. I know you've achieved success in both weight classes in kickboxing. Did you really think you could have had this opportunity to win a second weight class title in UFC so quickly?
Tão rápido não, mas.
Well, not that fast, you know what I mean? He switched weight class. He expect to be fighting, but not. I mean, like everything happens fast.
Of course. You won your UFC, your MMA debut, I should say, at 205 pounds in July. Beat Jan Blachowicz. How did you feel your body responded to not cutting those extra 20 pounds while you were competing in an MMA fight?
Eu acho que respondeu bem, né?
No, he responded very well, man. You got to put the circumstance. He was coming from a knockout, getting from a knockout loss. He fighting on a new weight class and fighting on the high altitude. So putting all together, he actually think that he had a very, very, very good response for that weight class.
That's great. And how did you feel like your size and your strength compared to Blachowicz, who is very much a 205-pound fighter his whole career?
Senti bem.
No, I felt good, man. His weight class, these guys are bigger. You know what I mean? One of the biggest that I found the other weight class was our design was similar, but this one, the guys are a little bigger, a little heavier. But Alex also, he felt as strong as the guys. He didn't feel no difference, man. Feel good. Has equal.
Excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. So how much easier is it for you now to enjoy a good meal now that you're not going all the way down to 185? Is it easier for you to kind of just sit there and be like, I can eat a little bit of what I want?
Não, com certeza, né? Agora eu tô comendo.
No, man, very good. You know what I mean? If this was on the lower weight class, was a middleweight, he had been depriving himself for some food and eating less, already cutting weight. So now he's actually being able to sustain a little more, eat a little more. So he actually much better.
That's great too. And I was curious, how much do you know how much you weighed when you walked to the cage for that fight? Because we heard how big you got between weigh-in and the fight when you were fighting at middleweight. So I'm curious about that.
103 kilos.
About 225, 220.
That's about normal for that weight class. The light heavyweight championship too. It's had a very strange journey since the last time it was on the line for your coach, of course, who lost to Jiří Procházka. Procházka gets hurt. Then there's the draw with Blachowicz and Magomed Ankalaev. Then you got Jamal Hill beats Glover, and then he gets hurt. So here we are. Does it feel good that you'll ultimately get to face the original guy, Jiří, who was the champion? He's the guy who beat your coach. Is it nice that worked out that way?
Bom, para mim é diferente, né?
Well, he tried to not take that rivalry, the vengeance part at heart, so because he wanna go into clear mind so he can do a better fight. So he's gonna try to go over there like he never had fought over before, but just doing his thing.
But is it still good? Because obviously the belt kind of got passed around, but it's still kind of the guy who was the number one guy. Does it feel nice that you'll be beating the one who ultimately was number one? I know it's so strange, right?
Não, com certeza. Isso aí, sem dúvida, né?
No, man, it's very exciting. You know what I mean? The guy hurt his shoulder and then went around, but now I'm fighting the real champion, right? I'm fighting the original guy, and that is exciting. I'm gonna do a great fight.
Sure. And we heard about this fight. It was just about 7 weeks before UFC 295. When was it you first heard to be ready for November 11th against Yuri? Was it before that?
Eu sabia.
Well, we knew about MSG basically the same time as you guys.
Okay. So, Yuri, of course, he finds himself in a lot of firefights, and he's got this, this unorthodox, kind of a strange style, right? And it takes a lot of damage, gives out a lot of damage. You are obviously very accomplished. You're a technical kickboxer with power too. What's the key for you to keep the striking battle on your terms against him?
Pô, eu também sou um cara agressivo.
Yeah, man, it's good. Alex also, what I mean, like I say, he's also very aggressive, but also intelligent. And even though that he don't have way too much experience on MMA, but he's been evolving a lot, but he have all the luggage from kickboxing that plays a big part on it.
Sure. And both you and Yuri, you had some very famous fifth round comeback victories for championships last year. I think there's a lot of feeling that kind of anything can happen in this fight. This is the new main event. We lost John Jones against Stipe Miocic, so the new headliner. Do you feel any extra duty to kind of entertain the fans, or do you feel like it's just going to naturally happen?
Tudo que eu pretendo fazer, né?
Yeah, man, to be honest, it's not because my fight now is the main event that I'm going to put an extra show. I'm going to do a show regardless, bro. Regardless main event or not main event, I'm going to put a show to everybody.
And lastly, when you win on November 11th, you're gonna go celebrate. Maybe go get yourself a nice scarf at a store in New York.
Nós chamamos.
Nah, man, you know what I mean? It's hard because go back to Denver is close by, and hopefully, like when everything is over, I'm gonna be with my family, my friends. We're gonna all celebrate together.